Right. Yeah, I'll run this section of the meeting. So just to recap what the feedback was, I'll just read out it was pretty short. Said excellent multidisciplinary representation. Make sure the project summary includes our institution and stuff. That's just formatting. The team should consider working with a design partner. Which organizations have this type of building in their portfolio and then can do zero energy. So and the industry partners, same thing. So we definitely need to work on that. We do have a few leads. One is I think the real estate agent that, and then the two others are kind of local architecture firms. So I think we can follow up there. They said that we presented the project data and tech specs well, good description of project and target market, good description of addressing the rules. So, as an outline, it was a good job. So moving forward, in terms of the key dates, in January, they mentioned that they might update the design challenge rules. So we'll see about that. It'll probably be minor though. And then February 22nd is going to be the next one. That's the semifinal submission. So according to Max, there's only actually 12 teams in this attached housing category. It's like not super popular, which is definitely good for us because I think the top 10 teams make it to the finals. So we just have to be not the last two. That's a low bar. We can do that. So basically have 2 months to complete this submission. And then on the 25th and 26th of February will be the actual presentation via Zoom. So we'll have to, I think, record that or do that live. Worry about that then. And then we'll get the feedback. And then if we continue on, which I hope we do, we're talking April for the next set of finals. So we have broken up the kind of teams, the assignments between the different teams, right? Like last semester, we talked about how like engineering A and engineering B and architecture all have different responsibilities. So if you look at the Miro board, which Max posted earlier, but I will just repost in case anyone came late. We've broken up everything into the different categories. So the biggest thing to note is that the building design has updated slightly. Alan and Hayden, do you want to talk about that?
Okay, so can I share my screen? No, it's disabled.
It's disabled? Okay, never mind. Can you do it now?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so since that's time discussing with engineering team A, we have been changing a lot for the design because we found that the space not quite enough. So we changed the rectangular modular to this kind of bigger container, which is like we originally we thought we can like just like shift the container to the side and then just stack them, but right now I think we have to shift the panel to the side and then do everything on the side. So this is the elevation. It's like pretty similar than the original one, and I think it would be easier to like for each team to start to design all kind of systems. So we kind of roughly design the inner configuration, but it's not fixed. So yeah, just a very simple configuration. And this is second floor and third floor. Yeah, that's pretty much our design. And you can see this Miro board. And if you have like right now, you can find the new document like on our Google Drive.
Yeah, so just to follow up on that, we will try to provide some like more useful drawing dimension drawings for the engineering subteams to work.
Is this camera frozen?
Team, and we can get you any sort of additional info that you need. So here is also the kind of general list of responsibilities we've done. So if you look below at the Miro boards, we've kind of broken it out into kind of 3 major boards with architecture, engineering A, and engineering B. And then we've got like the kind of key subtasks beneath each of those, and then kind of these kind of pink section areas to work on them. I can share my screen and try to bring that up. One sec.
I had a question about the drawings or the just the basic plan. So just looking at this attached housing unit, are each of these rooms like how many families would be looking at occupying this space? If you zoom back in on those drawings, whoever wants to.
There will be 12 units, but 2 of them are for family and 6 of them are studio and 4 is double.
Okay,
And
okay.
like 2 blocks is for like communal use.
Right, okay.
One comment here. I think this question reminded me of something. If you guys can come up with numbers, I think they will be very useful for the engineering part. How many people are there, the area, constructed area, the area available in the roof for solar panels, those kind of stuff. Those kind of numbers, I think, will help the engineering team to start designing things.
Yeah,
Okay.
I will update the dimension later.
Yeah, we can keep a spec list on Miro next to those documents, and then maybe also try and do the spec list in the Google Drive for people to pull from. Just off the top of your head, do you guys have any ideas besides like floor areas and occupancy, the types of info you would need?
No, I think that'd probably be good for now, because a lot of the water and electrical like calculations are just like purely are based on like occupancy, and there's some actual terminology that's like that describes the behavior of like per occupant, so that should be fine. And we can dive in with that stuff and probably reconnect if there's anything else that we need.
Okay, awesome. When you guys, I guess, output designs or drawings, what type of software would that be? AutoCAD generally?
Yeah, I was actually trying to find ways, if you guys have the like a way to do that through the architecture school or just UCLA in general, ways to get AutoCAD or Revit licenses.
I know
That would be
there are
huge.
student versions available. I think if you just use your student email address from Autodesk, you can download those.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And you might have to like
I'll
apply,
check that
but
out. Cool. Okay, I'll check that out.
I also have a question. So like, for the roof, is there a way that you can like provide a roof plan that shows the, not just the dimensions of the roof, but also like the sloping angle of the roof that has to do with the solar panels? I think the efficiency of the solar panels, and also drainage, like how, if there's rain, if it's gonna rain, like how's the rainwater gonna be collected, and transferred throughout onto the ground level, and are we going to make use of that rainwater? So just something to bring up here.
That's good. And yeah, the current design definitely calls for a flat roof, right? But we would still need some sort of slope between like 2 to 3
Yes.
degrees probably.
Yeah, at least 1 to 4. 1 to 4. So rise is 1, and then run is 4.
Yeah. Additionally, this is for the rainwater, right?
Mhm.
Additionally, for gray water, we need to have a space like in the first floor area outside of the house to actually have a small plant, a filter and a bioreactor or something to. So if you guys can think on that, like either to hide or to integrate with the plant and stuff. So yeah, we need to think where it's gonna be located and probably in the side that the restrooms will be in. So we don't want to go like to the other side. We want to try to make it easier. Yeah. I would say we will need like 2 to 5 square meters, I think, but I can get a more reasonable number later.
Oh yeah, and also, is anyone taking notes in the meeting?
I'm taking some.
Okay, thank you, Gavin. And yeah, also, Atticus and Jared and Hayden also post something in the chat, so we can definitely discuss about that as well.
Out of curiosity, does anyone have experience on Revit?
Not for me.
If not, it probably doesn't make sense to switch over or anything like that. We can stick to simpler 2D stuff. It'll be easier for coordinating.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine like you know, for at least some of the more complex like the technical systems, like, you know, really modeling anything on AutoCAD. I don't think that a lot of other schools or teams are probably doing that either. Like they're probably just more focusing on like the concepts and some of the calculations rather than like the more minute stuff. Yeah.
One advantage that I think about Revit is you can have like the 3D views, the rendering, right? So yeah, I think if you can,
I'm
stick like, yep.
Yeah, I'm actually like planning on kind of diving into AutoCAD and Revit anyways for my work for this summer, because I'll be needing to be able to use it. So I can try and see how far along I come with actually learning the software and seeing if we can produce some 3D models of those types of systems and whatnot. So but that'll be a kind of next month or something like that process for me. But there are free licenses for students. So thank you for that, Gavin. I found them.
Cool. So I mean, looking at those task breakdowns on Miro or a doc, depending on what team you're on, we would probably assign like kind of one of those per person to do research on. So I don't know, maybe if everyone could kind of look through those and see if, you know, there's any kind of critical information they need to get started, or if they don't know anything. I could possibly put the teams in breakout rooms if you'd like.
Yeah, also Hayden bring out a good point is that for our Rhino software, it can easily transfer into AutoCAD as well. So we don't really have to use Revit for the sake of just the project and relearn it like entirely again. And yeah, and Kaiji, you sent also something to the chat. Do you want to tell it to the meeting?
Just the 1 to 4 slope on the roof for drainage. We can work on this later on. We can also like work with engineering. I think we need to work with engineering team B to work this out because it also has something to do with, you know, running the plumbing line. I'm not like an expert on, you know, running the utilities and MEP stuff, but I think we need to work this out together. So
Yeah, so it has to be like combined with the solar panels. So I didn't do anything on the roof. So it's basically just a panel right now.
and for the panel to roof attachment, it's quite simple. Usually we just like attach it directly to a rafter, or if we're using trusses, then it's just tying to the top cords of the trusses. So it's pretty simple.
Two comments on that. The solar panels, they actually don't, just in case someone is wondering, they don't hinder any rainwater harvesting. So the water can like just drop over it and we can collect them anyway. So that's all good. One thing that is, I think is important is actually seeing the, I don't know the word in English, but the sun pathway during the day. So you wanna have the inclination and the orientation of the solar panels to get the most efficient, in a most efficient way to get energy. And I don't know if we need to go that far, like in detail, but yeah, you guys let me know.
Yeah, kind of with solar panels that I've seen in the past, the one trade-off that kind of comes with you know, orienting them or actually having them track the sun or for optimal sort of solar radiance. It actually, there's like a sort of trade-off that might be too particular with just the scope of the project, but like the actual energy required for the solar panels to be able to track is kind of almost equal to the amount of irradiance we could get from actually tracking the sun. I don't know if that's completely true. It's just something that I'd read about in a couple of different places when thinking about this in the past. So maybe we just see based on where the site is, like during the sun doesn't exactly follow the same path throughout the year, right? But it's along something similar. So maybe having some angle for the kind of the bulk of the hours in the middle of the day to try and maximize the solar radiance would still definitely be a good idea.
Yep.
Cool.
I just remembered one thing we also wanted to talk about was the heat spring education. It's okay if you haven't done it, but we still got time. I think the deadline's coming up at the end of February when we're going to lose access to it. So I did most of it over the break, and I will say it is a little long, but feel free to like hit the 2x speed on on those videos and like knock it out in a few days. And then I guess as we dig into each of these kind of assignments, it makes sense to like kind of go to the heat spring topic that is on your assignment to get the most immediate background, and then you can knock out the rest of the heat spring as you need it. The last two modules, like 8 and 9, are optional, so they're also solar decathlon specific. But when you do finish, please send your certificate to I think Max.
Yeah, send to the Solar Decathlon email account. And also the thing is, if you couldn't finish the heat spring modules on time, you wouldn't be able to get into the finals. So it is really important to do it. It's like a certificate to join the finals. Yeah. And for people who have completed Heat Spring magazine last year, or the past years, don't worry about it, because I've talked to the National Solar Decathlon, and basically the procedure is very simple. We will just have our faculty advisor taught to review our certificate, and then do an electronic signature. So we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, and also it also makes sense for the past people who participated in the Heatspring magazine not being able to see the new ones because you've completed your part and you wouldn't be able to see yours anymore until a certain year time. Yeah, but yeah, thank you, Gavin.
Yeah, show of hands, who's actually started? Okay, cool, yeah.
I had a quick question. Max, you were gonna follow up with me about this, but so I'd completed it in like late January, early February of last year. The Heatspring stuff. Do I need to? I have my certificate. Should I just resend it to you, or
Exactly, yeah. We send it to the Solar Decathlon email, and we'll send all of them to Todd, and then he'll review it, and he'll do an electronic signature in the end.
Perfect. Thank you.